A hungry zombie slowly approaches the car in front of it, but the man sleeping inside is unaware of the impending danger. It isn't until the zombie lies on the window and makes a noise that the man suddenly wakes up, retreating in panic. The sudden appearance of the zombie startles the man, and he instinctively grabs the walkie-talkie to call his partner for help. But when he sees the zombie's face clearly through the window, the fear in his heart instantly vanishes, replaced by a bold idea. However, just as he is staring at the zombie, a gunshot suddenly rings out. This is a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. Mickey and Ben, former baseball players, are among the few survivors. To avoid zombie attacks, they deliberately bypass once prosperous cities, shuttling through rarely visited country roads and forests. After all, places with fewer people surely have fewer zombies. Even so, encountering zombies while scavenging for supplies is a common occurrence. Although they are brothers who talk about everything, their personalities are polar opposites. Zombies encountered on the road are basically handled by Ben. He is open-minded and doesn't sweat the small stuff, always silently taking on the dirty work. This rough yet resilient survival style makes him seem born for this apocalypse. Mickey, on the other hand, cannot stand the drifting days, nor can he accept a life of aimlessness and constant fear. He always thinks about finding a safe camp where he doesn't have to worry about food and water, preferably with a female companion, to live a comfortable and easy life. Since the disaster, Mickey hasn't had contact with the opposite sex, leading to him being very repressed. Whenever he finds intimate apparel while scavenging, he quietly tucks it into his bag. Their only common hobby is probably baseball, which is also the only fun on their survival journey. When bored, they stop to pass the time. Since the places they go are relatively remote, the houses are basically unlooted, so there's no worry about food. Every time they find a house in good condition, Mickey wants to stay for a while, but Ben always disagrees. They usually sleep in trees or in the car because Ben knows a truth. Sharks have survived on Earth for hundreds of millions of years because they keep moving. Although they often quarrel due to disagreements, it doesn't affect their continued team survival. One day, they have a bountiful harvest at a house, finding not only 2 walkie-talkies, but also a drivable car. Mickey can't wait to put batteries in the walkie-talkies, and they test them to find they work. But just then, other people's voices suddenly come through. It seems to be a large survivor group scavenging nearby, apparently with a very safe camp. Most importantly, there is a young girl's voice. Mickey is instantly excited and hurriedly calls them on the radio, hoping they will take them in. Unexpectedly, the other party is very unfriendly, telling him to get off the channel immediately and warning Mickey never to try to find them. They welcome no one. Otherwise, he will face the consequences. Mickey disregards the warning and tries to continue communicating, but the people on the other side stop answering. Ben advises Mickey to give up since they clearly refused. However, Mickey still holds on to a sliver of fantasy. He doesn't want to live like this forever.
I don't want to live out here like this anymore, man. You're like a caveman, and you stink!
Facing Mickey's sharp comments, Ben laughs nonchalantly. He respects Mickey's choice and stops persuading him to give up the idea of finding them. In the following days, Mickey calls those people on the radio every day, hoping for a response, especially from the girl named Annie. But it's as if they have evaporated. No matter what Mickey says, no one answers. Ben sees through Mickey's intentions. His goal was never the safe zone, but the girl inside it. However, Ben friendly reminds Mickey that girls who survive in a doomsday world are not ordinary girls, and Mickey's personality definitely can't handle them. But Mickey doesn't believe it. He still drives around searching, but the moment he sees a zombie, he hides in the car and lets Ben solve the trouble. After that, Ben goes alone to bathe in the creek, unaware that a zombie has set its sights on Mickey in the car. Fortunately, he has a habit of closing the window when sleeping, or the consequences would be unimaginable. But Mickey, who was scared a second ago, has a bold idea after seeing the zombie's appearance. At the critical moment, the zombie is shot dead by the returning Ben. Seeing the unsatisfied Mickey, Ben grins from ear to ear. Before nightfall, they find another decent house. Seeing the neat and orderly bedroom, Mickey decides to stay there for the night. He forcefully asked for Ben's opinion. Perhaps sensing Mickey's unprecedented determination, Ben finally made an exception this time and compromised. Before going to sleep, Mickey doesn't forget to call Annie on the walkie-talkie again. He thought it would be like usual with no response, but this time Annie actually speaks. But she still urges Mickey to give up searching. If others find out she is secretly talking to strangers, she will be kicked out of the camp. Moreover, their camp isn't as good as Mickey imagines. Unexpectedly, Mickey still doesn't listen, so Annie is helpless and has to exit the channel again. At night, while Ben is partying alone in the living room, he hears movement outside. Experienced, he immediately realizes it's a zombie. However, he doesn't kill the zombie directly, but ties it to a tree because he wants to use this zombie to turn Mickey into a real independent man. So he marches the zombie directly into Mickey's bedroom. Screams and sounds of intense fighting immediately come from inside. After a few minutes, when the noise stops, Ben hurriedly opens the door He sees the zombie lying on the bed while Mickey, covered in blood and holding a baseball bat, stands in the room in a daze. It looks like he was terrified, but luckily, he successfully solved the trouble. At this moment, Mickey is furious and beats Ben up on the ground. Then he breaks down and goes outside. Ben follows, thinking Mickey hasn't recovered from the shock, but Mickey cares more about what Annie told him last night. Finally, under Ben's comfort, Mickey gradually calms down. In the following days, they return to a simple and quiet life, playing baseball, fishing, and accidentally discovering a large orchard. After eating and drinking their fill, they continue their journey. Unexpectedly, they find a car stopped in the middle of the road. They wanted to empty the gas tank, but Mickey finds the hood is hot, indicating the owner is likely nearby. They look around but see no one. Ben plans to leave immediately after siphoning the gas, but finds the tank empty. He stands up cursing, only to find Mickey held hostage by a man. Ben immediately pulls out his gun for a standoff. The man threatens him to hand over the car keys and put down the gun, or Mickey will suffer. But how could Ben compromise easily? It took them a lot of effort to get their car. He wants to talk to the man, thinking maybe they can be friends. The man says he is desperate because someone is chasing him. If they find him, he is dead. After speaking, he is about to cut Mickey's face. Seeing the man so agitated and fearing an accident, Ben chooses to put down the gun and tells the man the keys are in the car. As long as he releases Mickey, he can drive the car away anytime. The man believes it, but after getting in the car, he discovers the keys are with Ben. Realizing something is wrong, he immediately gets out to run. Ben picks up the gun and decisively pulls the trigger on the man. Seeing the man still struggling, he rushes up to fire a few more shots. The rescued Mickey doesn't thank Ben, but blames him for being too extreme. What if the man really had difficulties? Ben doesn't understand why Mickey sympathizes with a highway robber, especially one who intended to kill him. Unexpectedly, while they are arguing, a car slowly approaches. Ben vigilantly pulls out his gun. A girl sticks her head out of the car, telling them they mean no harm and just want to retrieve the car that belongs to them. It seems that they are exactly who that man was afraid of. Seeing there is more than one person and they are armed, Ben doesn't want trouble, so he agrees. A young, pretty girl walks out of the car, followed by a man, and they start refueling the car with a can of gas. During this, the girl asks about the driver. Ben lies, saying he turned into a zombie and had to be killed. The girl doesn't say much and prepares to leave after refueling. Everyone would have gone their separate ways peacefully, but Mickey actively steps forward to ask,
It's you, isn't it? Annie?
Beg your pardon?
Mickey.
I told you to let it go!
It turns out Mickey guessed right. The girl is Annie from the radio. Mickey explains it's just a coincidence, but Annie doesn't believe it. She threatens Ben to hand over the car keys, but doesn't take their car. Instead, she throws the keys into the grass and tells Mickey to find them after they leave, or she will kill them. Obviously, Annie does this so Mickey won't follow them. Although they clearly saw the keys thrown into the grass, Mickey searches until nightfall without finding them. Seeing it getting darker, Mickey has to give up, planning to stay the night and look again tomorrow. In the middle of the night, they are woken by a noise. Turning on the lights, they discover a group of zombies. Since zombies don't move fast, Mickey wants to leave, but Ben's leg is injured, so they turn off the lights and hide in the car. They thought the zombies would leave quickly, but waking up the next morning, they find the car surrounded. They are trapped. Although the zombies aren't very aggressive and they are safe inside, the zombies staring straight in and making shrill roars is annoying. And now the keys are unreachable. Ben angrily opens the sunroof and shoots a few zombies, but there are too many zombies. Aside from wasting bullets, it does nothing and almost lets a zombie climb inside. After failed attempts, Ben starts blaming Mickey. If he hadn't struck up a conversation, they wouldn't be in this predicament. Mickey didn't expect this result either. But since it happened, the only thing they can do is wait to see if the zombies leave. But a few days pass and the zombies still haven't left. Although food and water can last a while, staying in a cramped space for a long time would make anyone break down. Plus, the zombie roars never stop, preventing them from sleeping, so they get drunk and play games. After a few more days, unable to bear it, Mickey opens the sunroof, deciding to risk going out for the keys. Before leaving, Ben tells Mickey to just leave if he doesn't find the keys. Unexpectedly, Mickey is quite loyal at the critical moment.
Not leaving you here.
Mickey climbs out. After an unknown amount of time, Mickey's cry for help comes from outside. Ben opens the sunroof and Mickey frantically climbs back in. Ben asks if he got the keys, but Mickey says nothing. Unexpectedly, not only did he not get the keys, but he was also bitten by a zombie. Ben is terrified and shouts for Mickey to get out, but seeing that Ben refuses to move, he has no choice but to pull out his handgun in self-defense. At first, Ben can't bring himself to do it, but when he sees Mickey about to turn, he has no choice but to pull the trigger. After painfully finishing off Mickey, Ben persists alone for several more days. He is out of ammo and food, with only one can left, and even recycling water. Realizing waiting is a dead end, Ben decides to escape. Luck is on his side, As he prepares to act, he is surprised to find the zombies outside are gone. Ben seizes the opportunity to open the door, blinding sunlight hitting the car. He limps down the road, quickly attracting a group of zombies. But now he doesn't care. He puts on headphones and keeps moving, because the zombies' speed is nothing to fear. This is the low-budget doomsday movie, The Battery, released in 2012. It isn't a pure zombie movie, but more like a road movie set in the apocalypse. Because zombies have little screen time, it mainly tells the survival story of two men with different personalities arguing over trifles in the apocalypse. The film's pace is very slow, but it doesn't affect its excellence. Its budget was only $6,000, crowdfunded by director Jeremy Gardner from 10 friends and family members. This movie is his debut, shot in just 16 days, and the two leads are the director himself and the film's producer. Well, that's the end of the movie. See you next time.